education for Chicago students. When in the course of a student's education, it becomes necessary for them to replace the educational system which has ruled over them and to assume a voice in the decisions that shape their education to ensure a quality education for all, we hold these truths to be self-evident. That all students are created equal, that they are endowed certain unalienable rights. Among these are access to equal education despite race and whether they live on the south side, north side, or west side, as well as a quality learning environment, including a class size with less than 30 students, an air-conditioned classroom, and up-to-date textbooks. Please stand up if you are a parent, teacher, or student affected by the recent school closings and budget cuts. In order to secure students' rights, those most affected by educational policy must be the ones making educational policy. This board must be run by the students, parents, teachers, and community members, not by corporate CEOs, bankers, and other political cronies.
Yeah!
Austerity and despotism is the students and the people's right to throw off such government and to create new systems for their future security. Such is the suffering of Chicago students, teachers, and parents, and it is now necessary for them to form a new Board of Education. The history of the present Board of Education is a history of repeated injuries, all in an attempt to establish absolute tyranny over the students. To prove this, let facts be submitted. They've in the past year alone started a crusade on public education through closing 49 public schools, firing over 2,000 public school workers, slashing over $90 million from public schools, funding corrupt private charter schools in the same neighborhoods in which they have closed public schools, and completely ignoring the voice of parents, students, and teachers, regardless of petitions, protests, and strikes. Our voice has been ignored by this unjust board, and it is now our duty to reject and overthrow it.
Thank you, Mr. White.
Oh yeah, man.
You know me as 406-75744, but today I am more than an ID number. I am the state of education. I am the future. I am a student, and I need you to listen to me. As students, the way of education is always bearing on our lives. We know how important it is. The message is clear. Education is the future. We are the children. Education is key to a greater society. It's key to a greater faith as individuals. As students, we ask, is our education so significant, so monumental, it's so great that it bears, as students, we ask that our education is so significant, so monumental in gravity as to decide the fate of our world as we know it. We ask, why is CPS taking away from our education? You, the unelected school board, claim you want better education for us, you want better literacy, you want higher graduation rates, you want the best for us. You even put children first on our sticker meetings, our board meeting stickers. Yet you guys are not fair to us. You closed down 50 of our CPS schools, putting our elementary school students on the street crossing gang lines. That's 5 to 14-year-olds crossing gang lines just to get an education. You're taking away our teachers. Our teachers, 1,036 of our teachers, 1,077 of our staff. And you claim you want the best for our education? You don't want to take responsibility for our education, you want to take all the credits. Yeah. We are successful. We are doing the best. We are achieving despite this board, despite CPS, despite
That's right.
Disinvest and dismiss our students, and we are here to tell you no more. We are the future. Invest and I give.
Our next speaker will be speaker number 16, Violetta Gonzalo, please.
Hello, I am student 424-83281. Now, when I look at this board, I can only imagine it as part of the snake on the Medusa's head. The Medusa's head of this country. You are one of the snakes. Now, in order to fight the snake, we must fight the head. We have to cut off the head to kill the snake. Because here we are battling the snake. but we must kill the head. And I consider you part of the oppression of our people, because whose schools are you taking? You are taking our people's schools, and the city of Chicago is becoming part of this institution and this oppression that continues to go down on our people and continues to hurt us and take away our education. Now, these budget cuts that I see, apparently you don't have the money, I don't have the money, so who has the money? This country has the money. These corporations have the money. These CEOs have the money. These banks have the money. And it's not fair. It's not fair. And people keep continuing to cry and yell and tell you that it's not fair, but no one listens. And that's all I want to say. Have a good day.
Hello, I am a student. You may know me as 44601966. I stand here today to speak about my concerns. First, it is necessary for me to make something clear. The students of Chicago are and should be the priority. As such, I call upon the board to end the austere measures that affect both the schools throughout the city and every kid under CPS. Now, whether exceptional inside our classrooms or mentors outside of it, the educators of Chicago are the ones that make a difference. The over 1,000 non-teaching positions that were terminated encompass some individuals that I am sure students throughout the city and inside of this room would consider to be educators, not just physicians. Our clerks, our counselors, and every other individual that takes part in our schools has an impact. If providing a world-class education is your priority, then protect the educators. Stop investing in projects like Teach for America, which, although not destructive in theory,
That's right.
has the nature to affect their education. Invest $1.6 million in our teachers, not such programs. If my education, again, is truly important, consider my demands. Acknowledge my importance. Look me in the eye and tell me that you are going to fix the education system in Chicago. I am not standing here as a CTU member, nor am I a lobbyist, although I wonder if I should consider becoming that. I am standing here as a student, I will finish, a future constituent of the city, and hopefully, given the right opportunities and the education that I deserve, one day a teacher for the next generation to come. Thanks for your time.
Thank you,
Your
Mr.
so-called
Gomez.
concern. So now I ask you, are you listening
Mr.
to me now?
Gomez, thank you. Our next speaker, please, Clementine Fine, followed by speaker 29, Karenzi Ramirez, followed by speaker 34, Jamie Adams, followed by speaker 38, Daniel Libides, followed by speaker 39, Alice Lee, then 45, Aaron Hernandez, please.
I'm a student. You know me as 399-79160. I come to you today not to speak about issues that are in your control or about issues that you simply do not have any interest in changing. Instead, I will speak to you about issues that you can choose to change in this exact same meeting. In the past, CPS held their board meetings in the community where parking was readily available. Speakers were chosen Speakers were chosen on a first-come, first-served basis. On top of that, meetings were held in the evening when people were available to come. Not only have the voices of speakers have been reduced, but also the voices of all the members of the public. Not only is there a reduced limit on the amount of people that could stand in solidarity with the speaker, which is 9, and there was 15 previously, but also the opportunity to stand in solidarity with more than one person at a time before getting kicked out. So I ask you, how is what is supposed to be a public forum being held during work and school hours? Are you scared of large crowds? How is it that the last board meeting during the public speaking section where people register online to speak a week in advance, only half of the speakers actually showed up, and they had to miss work or school to actually speak? This is an undemocratic system which you have created, has only proven to students, parents, teachers, and all citizens seems to like that you are scared of what the public has to say.
Yeah.
If that is not the case, humor us and hold your meetings at a reasonable time where the general public can actually attend.
Ms. Fry, excuse me, can you please conclude?
I am.
Thank you.
Then change the speaker selection process to something which can't be infiltrated like this online process. Finally, once you're comfortable with those changes, try leaving your comfy seats for once and actually going into the communities and interacting with us as you say you always do.
Yeah.
Our next speaker.
Hello, I would like to yield my time to Sean.
Oh, that's not fair.
First, I would like to thank you for giving us iPads, but that is still not enough. We have lost over 3,000 teachers. What have you cut in the budget cuts? And first of all, one thing that I don't like about this board is that you only give us 2 minutes to speak, but you give all these corporate businesses like an hour.
Yeah.
Secondly, you are slashing our education. You are pulling it down. You are taking our education and our protection away. Let the community talk. Let the students talk. Let the parents talk. Let the teachers talk. Let them control this board. Don't let the bank control this board. I know that you're an investor, but you really let it fall through. You put all our $10,000 into the call for what? Can you put that back into the schools? You are saying it's all about the kids, but you're not putting it about the kids. I am a student myself, and I am pleading and begging that you help these parents in their low income, help them out and give them what they need. Help them with these schools. Please help them. You need to go to that mayor and tell him to just quit his job.
That's right.
Please tell him he's tearing down our education.
Sean, excuse me, can you please conclude?
Something wrong is with this board. Something is wrong.
Thank you. Our next speaker.
I am a student, but you know me as 4286-1839, and I need you to listen to me. I am here today to talk about charters. To the blind eye, charters may seem better, but in reality, they're not. In order to make their schools better, charters bogusly put students through the disciplinary system and push them out. How do I know? It's happened to me. I was given 2 days of detention for walking past a fight. I wasn't watching. I wasn't fighting. I was trying to get around it. And what's disgusting is that I'm not the only student this is happening to. Can you really say you're for the students when you know that some charters expel up to 17 times more students than a Chicago public school, and they aren't being held accountable for it?
That's right.
And the majority of the students being pushed out are the students that need the most help. Knowing this, you are allowing 49 public schools to be closed and more charters to be opened. As Ralph Waldo Emerson said, the secret in education lies in listening to the student. Are you listening to me now?
Thank you. Our next speaker then will be Daniel Lepidus. Last call for Daniel Lepidus. Our next speaker, Alice Lee. Last call for Alice Lee. Next would be speaker 45, Aaron Hernandez. Last call for Aaron Hernandez. Moving on to the next group of speakers then, speaker 49, Eric Reese, followed by speaker 51, Sarah Saleta, followed by speaker 52,